It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Here we are yet again at Slumberland at the lake for a cup of coffee. I'm Will. This guy right here is Uncle Chris. And on this week's show, we got some big local headlines. Camdenton names a new superintendent to replace Tim Hadfield, who is set to retire at the end of the year. We'll talk about a pretty cool local program that is started and runs out of Slumberland at the lake right here. Also, I don't know if you saw, but the April election filings for our local municipalities have been set, and we'll tell you who's running in Lake Ozark in Camdenton. We'll also look ahead to Mizzou's bowl game, the Armed Forces Bowl. They'll be playing Army in the Armed Forces Bowl on the 22nd. That's going to be next weekend. We'll also look back to the big win for the KC Chiefs, making it 6 in a row. They're tied for the best record in the AFC. We'll talk about that, and Uncle Chris and I will have a little bit of fun on this week's show, that and a whole lot more. But first, a word from our friends right here at Slumberland.
Hey everyone, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. The holidays are upon us, and who couldn't use a great deal on furniture? We have furniture for every room of your house on sale, up to 20% off right now. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
My man, Daryl, he is as cool as the other side of the pillow. The cool thing is you can get pillows right here.
Right here, baby.
That and a ton of other great things right here at Slumberland at the lake. So, Chris, our first local headline, Camdenton Board of Education named Sean Kirksey as new superintendent of the district. A announcement catches some people by surprise and also has a lot of people rejoicing. What can you tell us?
Well, very interesting. This guy is very familiar around here, right? I'm kind of a newbie at the lake, so I'd never heard of his name, but most everybody knows who Dr. Sean Kirksey is because he was middle school president back in 2013, and then there was a big controversy, and he was kind of forced out, and he actually signed, he was kind of paid his severance and signed that he would never be able to work in the Camdenton School District again. Well, obviously he's back. So they had to completely amend that separation from back in 2013. And again, it's very unfortunate because a lot of it's very political, right? I mean, it seems like he was forced out back in 2013 on kind of a political basis, and kind of seems like he's coming back now on a political basis, so it's very interesting what's going on. Like you said, some people are rejoicing, some people not so happy about it, but the whole look of the Camdenton School District is changing after last year's elections, and maybe even more so with this year's.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked to some people within the district that are a little unsure of what the future will hold, not only for themselves, but a lot of their peers, their coworkers, and like you said and alluded to, he was kind of forced out back in 2013, an interesting development. Some had to do with map testing and the way that they were given over more than one day and weren't supposed to be. And, really interesting development. And the fact that he's brought back leads you to believe that this was something that the board wanted and they had to work towards to make happen. And they had to
go
figure
out of their way to make this happen. Right. Yeah. So a contract, because there are contracts involved here, contract leaving, saying he would never come back, and then a contract to come back. So contract attorney who spoke with Lake Expo confirmed that as long as the parties to the original separation agreement, in this case, the school and Dr. Kirksey, agreed to amend that separation agreement, that he could come back and it would all be legal, which happened because the school board now has a whole different look to it. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people, like I said, that were rejoicing, very happy and welcoming home Dr. Sean Kirksey with open arms, saying he is back where he belongs. So as you have it, as Tim Hadfield, we said, he's set to resign or retire, rather, at the end of the school year. And so the Camdenton Board of Education has their guy, and as you alluded to, very familiar with Camdenton, and so we can guarantee you that the shakeup that is at Camdenton and has been going on since last year's board election will continue, and we'll be right there keeping you guys updated.
Well, and two, I think one of the main huge big issues sitting out there on the table now for the Camdenton School District is their debt, right? I saw something recently just in the last few weeks that the debt is up to like $86 million or $84 million because they keep kicking it down the road, and then the loans come due and they get another loan for that loan, and it just explodes. So from what I understand, the new school board is trying to figure out how to pay that down, pay that off, but that's a lot of money.
I would think the old school board, whoever got the district in this mess, maybe should have been listening to Dave Ramsey a little more often. He could have helped you out with
that.
He
might have Wild Will money if they'd been listening to that, man.
Ridiculous. All right, so we'll keep you posted. Pretty exciting news for a lot of people, but Camdenton has their guy. Now, in other news, locally, Chris, really cool program. We covered it, we've talked about it, and we did a really cool piece on it last year. The Homes for the Holidays program right here at Slumberland at the Lake. So we're going to show you this feature in its entirety so you know exactly what is going on with this program and how you can reach out and get involved. It's the holiday season at the lake, which means it's the holiday season at Slumberland Furniture. And as great as the Lake of the Ozarks is for year-round residents and vacationers alike, you might be surprised to find out that the poverty level down here at the lake is surprisingly high. And during the holiday season, that fact becomes overwhelmingly and abundantly clear. I'm excited to tell you about a holiday program that takes place here at Slumberland Furniture each season. To tell us more, it's Slumberland owner Jill Ray along with General Manager Daryl Cunningham.
Homes for the Holidays is our mattress donation program where we're really focused on donating mattresses to children in the lake area, children that are sleeping on the floor or on a sofa, and getting them into a mattress and getting a great night's sleep. We teamed up with Sealy Mattress Company, and we've just taken it, started at the beginning when we opened here in 2008, and just been able to multiply every year how many mattresses we give away to children in our area. We started in Homes for the Holidays in 2008, and each and every year we've been able to add to the number of mattresses we've donated in the lake area. So we started with maybe 10 to 20 mattresses, and Daryl, how many did we give away?
I think last year total we were close to 200 mattresses for the year.
Yeah, so we've really been able to just keep growing that program and working with schools and working with different agencies, and then of course Scotty with Scott's Concrete coming aboard and helping us with that has just continued to let us donate more and more mattresses in our area.
I want to say 6 years ago or so, I can't even remember, but I was at a business networking meeting with Jill, and she talked about how they were going to give away mattresses. And as many people know, we're very involved in the community. We sponsor all the different community events, organizations. I mean, these are the organizations that are vital to the community, and we just believe in supporting the community that's been so kind to us over many years. And Jill and I talked about the program, and I thought it was a great idea.
Everyone at Slumberland is really excited about this program, especially our delivery guys. You know, when we are setting up those deliveries, they want to make sure they get to do it when the kids are home so they can see the kids' smiling faces. And I have to be kind of careful. I have to make sure that each truck is kind of level as far as number of deliveries, because they don't want to see one guy get to deliver 20 and one guy 10.
To tell you what a good thing it is people ask me going up to Christmas is, hey, when are you delivering beds? I want to go with you again. Because it takes a few of us to do it. There's normally 5 or 6 of us that go around, and I spread it out over a couple days because there's so many mattresses over the days that I have guys at work that I work with every day. They're like, hey, Scotty, when are we doing that? If we're slow and it's snowing, I'm coming in, we're delivering mattresses, and it's great. And the stories are heartwarming. You hear it all, and I can think of one that's a couple years ago. We were up in up the other side of Eldon, I believe, and it was late at night. It was about dusk. It was one of our last deliveries of the day, and we pulled up to this farm. And at the farm, there's the house in the back, animals absolutely everywhere, horses, goats, you name it. It was kind of muddy. We pull up, and nice trailer kind of behind the fences and whatnot. But it was just a cold evening, real windy. And up there it was in the field and back there wasn't many trees around. And I remember walking in and there's 4 kids, and we always try to get the kids involved. Hey, help us set this up. Let's start with a metal frame. We go up and go to the right and we go to this back bedroom. And they had it all cleaned out for us. There's no toys on the floor, no nothing. We're gonna set up 2 twin beds for the kids in this room. So little girl that was about my daughter's age, probably 9 years old, real excited. She said, is this my bed? And I said, well, I think so. Did your mom say it was your bed? Yeah, she said this is my bed. I said, well, we'll pick out some sheets. Go get the color you want. She brings back these pink sheets and sets it up. And I remember the windy night because it was like one of the older trailers. And I mean, you could feel the breeze inside the room. I mean, it's just cold. And great place. It was clean. Everything. It's nice. I mean, they're doing what they're doing. And she helps us set it all up. And I said, now, do you have a favorite blanket? And she said, well, yeah. And she reaches over, and in the corner is a stack of blankets that was as tall as I am. And I go, is that the blankets? And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, that's our bed. She goes, that's where I had them all out on the floor and would sleep with the dogs. And it's just heartwarming. The kid had never been up off the floor on a cold like that day, and you just don't think of what a help that'll do a kid. You know, she's gonna sleep better, perform better in school, you know, all the things that impact with that. And she pulls the blanket right off the top, makes the bed, and it's just stories like that that keeps us doing it.
I know it's making a difference because I know the science of sleep, and I know a good night's sleep makes a difference in everyone's life. That aside, just meeting the folks that we donate and talking to each and every one of them on the phone as I set up deliveries, they're so thankful and they're so excited, and the children are so excited. Our delivery team is excited. Everyone really wants to be a part of this and see the kids' faces when they get their own bed and it's all made up and they're excited to get it, have their own space. I remember last year speaking with a young lady who moved here very, very quickly out of a domestic violence situation and came with nothing. And she had budgeted all of her funds for Christmas for her daughter to get her a bed. And so to be able to donate that mattress to her daughter and set that room up for her really allowed the mother to get some Christmas presents, set their house up, and just seeing or hearing and seeing that little girl just be so excited to have her own room and have a Christmas. The mother was so thankful in a stressful situation. That just really was awesome to see.
So an amazing program indeed, you can see, and that's thanks to the generosity of those who are involved. Now, here's what we need from you. Maybe you're sitting out there and you know a child in the community who's sleeping on the floor, on the couch, maybe even sharing a bed with a sibling or loved one. Well, you can call our friends over at 93.5 Rocks the Lake. Give them a call at 573-302-4646, and they'll give you further instructions. On behalf of our generous friends over at Scott's Concrete, Slumberland at the Lake, and 93.5 Rocks the Lake, I'm William Holtz with Lake TV, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Man, one of my absolute favorite programs, nonprofit programs of the year here at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And you kind of got to see some of the emotion with Scotty Martin and Scott's Concrete and Jill Ray, the owner, right here at Slumberland. And, you know, big shout out to 93.5 Rocks the Lake as well. Barbara Bunch, she gives up a ton of her time. She facilitates and takes all those calls and then arranges those deliveries with Scott and Jill and their crew. And again, Barbara Bunch is the person you need to reach out if you know somebody that may be one of those children in need or one of those families that could use a little assistance. You got to call Barbara and she'll get you taken care of. That's Barbara Bunch with 93.5 Rocks the Lake, 573-302-4646. Make sure you tell her that Unky Chris and Wild Will sent you her way. We love our good friend Barbara because there's no one who works harder here at the Lake of the Ozarks than Barbara.
She's a special lady, absolutely.
Yeah, indeed. So it's time for the April elections, and just believe it or not, about 4 or 5 months now. We'll be through December in a jiffy, and the April election filings are in, and so we can now tell you who's running in Lake Ozark and Camdenton, and there might be a few surprises.
Yeah, and you know a lot of these people. Lake Ozark, former Mayor Johnny Francisco.
Yep.
Right? So Sherry Jackson, former Alderman Larry Joppa running in Ward 2. David Wrigley is running in Ward 3. Bonnie Black running against incumbent Brendan West in Camdenton's Ward 1. So, and it's so hard to keep up with when and what elections are happening in Missouri. Right. But the April elections are kind of local, right?
Yeah.
The alderman, school board things, and so these are hugely important. I think that's one of the things we've been learning the last few years, how important local elections are. I mean, as screwed up as things are nationally,
right?
Really our only hope is grassroots locally to, get things back on track.
Oh, 100%. And we're seeing it here as far as what's going on with the Camdenton School Board, as far as local getting involved and how quick that ripple effect has taken place and the culture's really changing around there. Of course, Mayor Dennis Newberry was a write-in candidate and beat out the former mayor. And so you're seeing local people get involved in these local elections, and you're seeing record turnout. In that Lake Ozark mayoral race, we had more votes for the write-in Dennis Newberry by himself than voted on the last ballot the previous time around for any candidates collectively. Yeah. So we're seeing people get involved, and that's exactly what you have to do because, like you said, at the national level, whoever you vote for, you could be happy, you could be angry, but you're not going to see the direct impact in your communities like you will with the results from these local elections.
Don't even know if you can trust the national elections at this point. I mean, that is very much up in the air. I know they've done polls recently that over 50% don't believe that election, the presidential election, something was wrong with that, So hopefully on a local level, you have more confidence in what's going on, and hopefully we can fix the stuff on the national level.
Yeah, I was a little surprised in Ward 2 to see the current alderman, Dennis Klotzer, not be in the mix, not be running, and you see Larry Joppa, who was an alderman previously, did not get reelected last year. Sherry Jackson, very prominent businesswoman in the area. And then Johnny Francisco's, who was, as you said, the mayor for 13 years with the city of Lake Ozark. And so he's running for alderman now, which is kind of fascinating to say the least. But that April election still a ways away, and there is a possibility you'll see some write-ins, things of that nature. So we will continue to keep you posted. Of course, 2 seats are open in Ward 2, a 1-year and a 2-year term. The 1-year term is to fill the seat that was vacated by Dale Hicks earlier this year, and Burt Westbrook was appointed to fill in until this election coming up in April. So that's why there's a 1-year and a 2-year term for Ward 2. Kind of interesting.
And why you got 3 people running there too, apparently. So 2 spots.
For sure. So we'll keep you posted on that as we get closer to those elections. I'm sure Lake TV will be having some forum of some sort for not just Lake Ozark, but also Camdenton. So we'll look real forward to keeping you guys in the know on all of those things. So as we look ahead to sports, we've told you over the last few weeks that Mizzou football, they're going to get a bowl game. They become bowl eligible, and kind of crazy, 13 of the 14 SEC teams bowl eligible.
Wow. That says so much for the SEC.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Every week, even in those 6 wins with Missouri, 4 of those conference wins, you're playing some of the best teams in the nation every single week, even when it looks like it's one of the lower teams. They're playing each other, and everyone's winning about half their games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. 13, that's a record for the SEC, and not a huge bowl, but quite a honor to get to play in the Armed Forces Bowl, of course, getting Army on the 22nd at 7 p.m. The conflict there is Mizzou basketball plays the Fighting Illini in the Bush bragging rights game, and it's only a conflict for those that still care about the awful product being put out on the court.
They got rolled by the Jayhawks, didn't they?
It wasn't even close, although it was never 33-7 in the first half of that game like it was in the Missouri game. I think, who was that
Liberty?
they were playing?
Was it Liberty?
That was up on them. So we don't even really cover Mizzou basketball very often, but I am excited about the Armed Forces Bowl next Saturday, 7 p.m. Of course, you're familiar with the Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Great place. Yeah, if you want to travel to see the Tigers, that's a great place to see a game. And usually warm weather down in Fort Worth that time of the year. Not always, but usually.
Well, a little bit better than it's been here, man. Real quick, the crazy tornadoes that, through the Kentucky, parts of other states, heartbreaking. We here at Lake TV, we offer our condolences, of course, for all those that have been lost and lifting all of the people injured and all the people dealing with that heartache. We lift you guys up in prayer and thoughts, and man, just crazy. The pictures we saw the following morning, the devastation kind of makes you think of the Joplin tornadoes years ago here locally. I mean, what would they say? It was an E5?
Something like that. I saw the pictures of, I think it was Mayfield, Kentucky, before and after, and that place was just leveled. Man, that was very sad. Yeah, and our prayers going out for all those families, absolutely.
Just awful. Okay, so on a bright note, this weekend, you KC Chiefs fan, man, you guys can keep celebrating, Chris. Remember what I said about 6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
When Chiefs Nation was all ready to throw in the towel, the Chiefs were 3-4. Everyone said, oh, this team needs a wake-up call. I was even calling out Steve Spagnuolo because that was who I thought the issue was. Boy, he must have watched the Cup of Coffee show and said, I got to answer to these two yahoos.
He learned from Wild Will.
In their grandma's basement.
Yeah.
Since that, the Chiefs have won 6 in a row. And I got to give, like I said, Steve Spagnuolo credit because this defense since week 6 is yielding just over 10 points per game, and they're number 1 in the NFL. You'll see right there the AFC standings. They're atop right there. The Patriots and the Titans and the Chiefs all 9-4.
Yeah.
And tell you what, depending on how you feel like the Chiefs are going to fare over their last few games, they have a real legitimate shot at getting that 1 seed in the AFC, getting a first-round bye and home field advantage. And if there's any place in the NFL that has a advantage over other home field advantages, I'd say it would either be Kansas City or Seattle with the 12th man. So Chiefs fans, baby, you're rolling. Mahomes is looking good. 5 turnovers forced by the Chiefs against the Raiders.
Yeah.
And the Raiders they really can't play against the Chiefs this year.
No, and it was interesting, too, in that Raiders game because the Raiders were apparently pretty confident coming in because they came in, they got off the bus, they were like dancing around the bus, and then they go dance on the Chiefs logo in the middle of the field before the game. Boy, that didn't last long. That was a nice butt whooping for the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes is in the locker room getting ready, and he sees the tweet that they're on the arrowhead or the center field stripe and the logo, and so he looks over to his teammates and he goes, you know what, boys? Hold my beer.
That's about right, yeah.
Chiefs came out and dominated from start to finish. 48-9 was the final. You also see the AFC West standings. Kansas City right there on their heels are the 8-5 Chargers, and of course the Chiefs and Chargers will square off Thursday night in a primetime matchup in Los Angeles. That is going to be a huge game.
Tough game.
Chargers win that one. Both teams will go to 9-5. Chiefs win that. They have a really good shot at sealing that division over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so we did have a couple of different picks.
Right.
Before we can talk about those 2 games we had different, how about what Andrew did to us this week?
What did Andrew do to us?
He nearly went perfect. He finished the week with a 12-2 record.
Yeah, he got
13
lucky.
points plus the bonus point. You were pretty impressive as well at 11-3, 12 points for you. Andrew, 2 points up on you. I'm falling way down.
There was one game that separated me and Andy, okay? It was the Bengals and the Niners? They went to overtime, and the Bengals actually scored first. And then they let the Niners score a touchdown. If I'd have won that game, I'd have won the week, baby. So that's like the 3rd overtime game this year that's not gone my way. But I'm still hanging in there.
We also have about 9 overtime games that have gone his way. And on top of that, Scott Norwood's out there somewhere saying, if only I wouldn't have kicked it wide. Right. All right, so shout out to Andrew. He's got a 2-point lead. Better enjoy it while it lasts, because Christmas time's typically the time Willie Boy is coming for you. The only 2 games we picked different were the Raiders and the Browns.
Yeah.
You took the Browns.
I took the Browns.
I took the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are going to answer after that. Derek Carr is too good of a quarterback. Josh Jacobs too good of a running back. They should get Darren Waller back. I think that they're going to come out for vengeance, and they're going to beat the Browns.
I think you're crazy.
And then I got the Steelers over the Titans.
Yeah, and I got the Titans in that one. The Steelers almost came back to beat the Vikings last week, so it was kind of tough to figure out what's going on with this Pittsburgh team. The Titans team, after losing their stud running back, I'd tell you, they've just kind of been floundering, trying to figure things out. So I'm still going with the Titans.
Still 9-4.
Yeah.
Tied for the first best record in the AFC.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for a cool segment. Would you rather? We're going to ask our friend Andrew to bring us over our spread.
The guy that's actually leading in our pool.
Pick'em league. I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to need some room here. All right, Chris.
Hi, Andy. Say hi.
Say hello to the camera. That's our DOP. So look what we've got here. We've got some Bragg's apple cider vinegar that we could choose to do 2 shots of in a minute. Or we've got a good half cup of Crisco that you could eat. So I'll let you choose first.
Is that ice cream?
No, it's not ice cream.
Oh, okay.
So
you're saying we can either eat this or do 2 shots of
apple
vinegar?
cider vinegar. I'm going to choose the vinegar.
There's no way I'm eating that.
I wouldn't either. I should have done mayonnaise or something that would have been a little more
I'd go with the mayonnaise, yeah.
over the apple cider.
No, well, yeah, I probably would. Yeah.
I should have done mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, can you imagine what that will do to your system?
well, yeah, get a look at me. He'll show you exactly what it
You'd
does.
be probably losing half of that if you ate that.
Oh, I get it. Boo! That's hilarious. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side here.
Okay.
All right, so we have 1 minute here.
So is this to wash it down?
Yes,
with? Okay.
and hopefully there's a trash can close. So this is supposed to be really good for your liver.
Is there a trash can close just in case? Yeah.
I'm going to pour mine about half as full as I pour yours.
Oh, wow, that's a full shot, dude.
This is rough. And the thing is, it hurts your stomach lining so bad because it's so acidic. You have to really, so I'm going to give you a tip. I know you've done this before, but I take water first, then the apple cider vinegar. I try to plug my nose, get it down, and then chug as much water as I can. So are you ready?
Sure. Okay.
We got to do 2 of them too. So.
Okay.
Oh, you're good.
I think we stop at 1.
It's so much worse than I remember it being when I was healthy and cared about my life.
I think we need to stop at 1.
I can't do another.
Oh, man.
I used to do that daily.
It's burning.
Yeah, it is. That belongs on KB's show, baby. What's burning?
Man.
Oh, man. All right. So as we
But it's supposed to be healthy, right?
I think I need a couple sausage McMuffins from McDonald's after that.
Oh, my God.
To get that taste out of my mouth. Tastes like dirty feet smell. That's terrible. All right, so folks, we got so much great stuff going on Lake TV right now. Our first basketball game of the season last week was awesome. Versailles put up 108 points.
I love that Versailles
over
team.
Tipton. Of course, our community spotlight show. You got some great guests coming on.
Yeah, we've got Dr. Billy Kurtz, Camdenton Activities Director this week, talking about what's going on in Lakerland. And Kelly Miller, the CEO from COMC, will be joining us next week. We've got 7 local high school basketball coaches that we're rotating on the High School Basketball Coaches Show every day at 10 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 6 p.m., 7 local coaches. So be sure to watch for that. And so much more. Of course, what's burning with KB and everything else.
And this Monday, December 27th, the monthly market update with the O'Sullivan Bruce Group for December will be an exclusive with the Vandervorts and their new establishment, the Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar. Unbelievable. We'll have the exclusive on that.
My eyes are still watering, dude.
Yeah, and don't forget about our next basketball game after the new year, January 4th, Camdenton at Osage. Can't wait for that. Huge shout out to our friends and supporters right here, Jill Ray and her entire crew. This man right here is Chris Schneider. The beautiful guy that brought us our tray is our DOP, Andrew Evans. I'm Wild Will. I'll see you guys next week.